a double knit yarn of your choice. I have this shiny metallic yarn here. I will leave the exact yarn in the description if you are interested at all, and I will be using 6 balls that are 50 grams each. So 6 balls of 50 grams, that's about 300 grams. Then you will need a needle, scissors, and 4.5 millimeter hook. And this is optional, but you also will need 2 stitch markers for sewing later, or if you don't have these, you can use safety pins or just scraps of yarn to hold your piece in place. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. And I just wanted to take a second of your time before we go into the tutorial, because this video is sponsored by me and my small business, which I wanted to share with you. And it is another hobby of mine, which some of you might not know because I don't share this enough, but it's hand dyeing natural fibers such as merino wool, mohair, and more. It is available worldwide on KenikseYarns.com website, and I have a 10% discount code for you, Kenikse Yarns 10, if you come across any skein you'd like. And to start off with the front panel, you want to grab your yarn, make a slip knot, put your hook in and tighten it up. And now you will need to chain multiples of 7 plus 3, and I will do 73, and that's gonna be my length of the top from shoulder to shoulder. And to do a chain, you basically yarn over and go through the loop on your hook. And once you've got your chain, this is how it will look. It will be much longer being on its own, and when you actually start the stitch, it will shrink down. So my chain measures now to 39 centimeters, but the actual piece is 31 centimeters. Let me just quickly grab it. So yeah, it's quite smaller than the actual chain. And what you want to do is, at the beginning, you can kind of do just the 2 multiples of 7, which is 14, plus 3, just to check how long those 7 chains are. And then you can kind of work out the measurements that you need. So yeah, just don't count on this chain because it will be way longer at the beginning. But once you've figured the length that you need, skip the very first chain and go with the double crochet into the second here. So yarn over, go into that second chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Into the next one, do another double crochet, and then chain 5, skip 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the 6th, go with the double crochet, then again double crochet into the next one, and this is what we will repeat. So chain 5, skip 5, do 2 double crochets. So just to show you one more time, chain 5, skip 5, into the 6th, do 1 double crochet, and another one into the next. And repeat this till the end of your initial chain. So yeah, once again, chain 5, skip 5, and do 2 double crochets. So I'm just gonna finish my first row and I will meet you at the end. And once you come to an end, you should have 7 chains left. So for the very last time, chain 5, skip 5, and into the last 2 chains do 2 double crochets. And this is your first row complete. This is how it will look, and you can probably already tell that it's getting slightly smaller because I couldn't fit the chain in the frame. I can do it now because it's again a bit smaller. But yeah, once you've done your first row, you want to chain 2, turn your work, and for the second row we will do a back post double crochets into these 2, then chain 5, skip those 5 and repeat. So to start, you want to do back post double crochet, and to do it you want to yarn over, go into that first double crochet but from the back, so that when you put your hook, it's kind of like this. If you turn your work forward, then yarn over and come back, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So if it helps, you go into your stitch just like so. Let me just go back into the stitch. Then again you want to yarn over, go from the back to the front and back to the back, if that makes sense. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And this is how it will look. If you flip your work, you'll see those double crochets in the front. Then you want to chain 5, skip 5. So what you are doing is just skipping those 5 chains that you did before, so you don't need to count anymore because you already know that you need to go into that double crochet. And to do a back post double, again yarn over, go into the stitch from the back to the front and back to the back side, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. One more time into this one, yarn over, go behind the post, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through 2. And this is what you will repeat. So chain 5, skip 5, do 2 back post double crochets. Once again, chain 5, skip 5, and do back post double crochet, which you can do by yarning over, going from the back just like this, pull up a loop, then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And one more time, yarn over, go behind the post from the back and complete your double crochet. And this is how it will start looking. So now you want to repeat this till the end, and I will meet you then. And when you come at the end, you will have 5 chains and 2 double crochets. So one more time, chain 5, and all you left to do is to do 2 back post double crochets. So yarn over, go into the first one, pull up a loop and do your double crochet. And now one more time, yarn over, go into that double crochet back post only and complete your double. And this is how it will look. Then you want to chain 2 and turn your work. And it just started raining, so I do apologize if that annoys a little bit, but yeah, this is what it will look once you have completed your second row. It is a bit curling, but it should straighten up later on. Or you can also pull onto those double crochets to straighten it up, but that's not big of a problem because it will straighten out anyway. And once you chain those two, for the third row we will be doing a double crochet into the front post, chain 5, skip 5, and repeat. So to do a front post one, you want to yarn over and go just like this. So instead of it being like we did from the back, now we're doing it from the front, going just behind that double crochet post. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over 2 times to complete your double. Then again yarn over, go behind the double crochet post from the front, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 times, then chain 5, skip those 5 and do 2 front post double crochet. So yarn over, go behind the first double crochet, and then yarn over, go into the second one and complete your double crochet into the front post only. This is how it will look, and this is what you will repeat till the end. So just to show you one more time, chain 5, skip 5, and do 2 front post double crochets. And yeah, I'm just gonna repeat this and I will meet you at the end. And when you come to an end, I have 5 chains and 2 double crochets left. Chain 5, skip 5, and do 2 front post double crochets in the next 2. So yarn over, go behind the post, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and repeat this one more time. Yarn over, go behind the post, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through 2 twice, just like so. And this is how it will look after doing 3 rows. And what I meant by doing and checking the size that you will need is basically if you only do 14 stitches, 14 chains plus 3, this is how it will look. So you will have this little piece of work which you can measure and see how many of those multiples of 7 you need. So you just measured this after doing at least 3 or so rows, and then you can decide how many of those multiples of 7 you need. So what you measure is this, basically, because that's 5 and 2, but just do 14 plus 3 to start off and see how big it turns out. But yeah, once you have completed that, if it helps, when counting the rows, you only start counting from this one. So don't count your initial chain and count 1, 2, 3, and so on. So this is not a row, it's a foundation chain, so it doesn't count as a row. So 1, 2, and 3. Now, once you completed your row 3, you will chain 2, and from now on, you will repeat rows 2 and 3 as many times as you need your top whatever length you want it to be. So after you chained 2, you turn your work and repeat row 2, and this is a row on the wrong side, meaning you will be doing back post double crochets. Then when you complete that row, you will do front post double crochets because you have your work right side up. So when you see your double crochets like this, it's your right side. When you see it like this, where the chains are in the front, as you can see, this is your wrong side. So yeah, do as many rows as you need, and I will meet you at the end for the shoulder shaping. And now I have my front panel done. It has total of 34 rows, not including this initial foundation chain, so only from this one, and it's 34 in total. And what I will do for my shoulders is basically multiples of 7 3 times plus these 2 double crochets. And I would suggest doing so because it will be difficult for you to join the chain if you don't do these 2 double crochets, or at least one of them. So make sure that it goes till the double crochet. And yeah, this is going to be the length of my shoulder. Then again, for the second one, I will do the same exact thing, meaning that I will have my neck hole this big, which is multiples of 7 4 times. So yeah, to do the shoulder, it's super easy because it's the same exact pattern, and I will do it for 3 rows in total. So basically I will repeat those rows 3 times until I finish my shoulder. And to start, you just want to make sure you have a chain of 2. Just because it is from the right side, I will go with the front post double crochet. So yarn over, go into the first one and do your double crochet, then into the second one, chain 5, again 2 front post double crochets, again chain 5, and do 2 front post double crochets. And for me it's one more time, so chain 5, go into the double crochet with the front post, and then one more time, and this is where I will stop. So this is gonna be my shoulder. If you are making smaller piece, you might as well be okay with just the 2 of them, or if you're making bigger, then again you can also make your shoulder piece be bigger as well. Once you've done your first row, chain 2, turn your work, and for the next row I will be doing a back post double crochets because this is a wrong side. So yarn over, go into the first double crochet into the back post only, and complete your double crochet, then again into the next one, chain 5, and repeat those 2 back post double crochets 2 times, chain 5, again 2 back post double crochets, and then one more time, chain 5, and do 2 back post double crochets, chain 2, turn your work, and this is how it will look so far. Like I said, I will be doing 3 rows, but again, depending on what size you're making, you can as well do more rows if you need to, or you can make less rows than I do to make sure that it fits you. Once you chained 2, again I'm gonna repeat the row with the front post double crochets for the very last time to finish off my shoulder. And this is how it looks. So I'm gonna finish off here by chaining 1. I'm gonna cut my yarn, leaving a bit of a tail so that I can use it for sewing later. So yeah, leave a bit of a tail, cut it off and pull through. Tighten it up. And now we will do second shoulder. So if you remember, we did a row which started with the front post double crochet. That means that I will need to join my hook with the yarn from the right side into this one here. But what you can do is basically turn your work, join it here, and start with the row which is basically going through the back post. So it's up to you, or whatever row you finished on. But once you're ready to do your second shoulder, grab your yarn. Once again, I'm gonna insert into this double crochet here, just to make sure that the second shoulder is exactly the same as the first. So yeah, make sure that you've got it correct. And I'm gonna put my hook into the double crochet through the V as normal, because I need to join my yarn. So yeah, just pull it through, grab your working yarn and chain 2. Again, it will start with a front post double crochet. So I'm gonna yarn over, go into the first double crochet and do double, then do the same into the next one, just like so, and then chain 5, skip 5 and do 2 front post double crochets. But yeah, you basically already know what to do, just wanted to show how to join your yarn. And then you will need to finish the shoulder exactly the same as you did your first one. So after I finish this row, I will do back post double crochets for the next, and then again front post for my third row of the shoulder. Then you want to chain 2, turn your work, and do second row, which is from the back, because we're going into the back post. Same into the second double crochet, then chain 5, skip 5 and repeat. And for one more time, chain 5 and do 2 back post double crochets. Then chain 2, and this is gonna be the last row for me. If you did more, you will need to do the same as you did for the first one. But yeah, I'm just gonna finish my last row of the shoulder, which this time is going into the front post. And this is where I will finish off, so I'm gonna chain 1, leave a bit for sewing, so I'm gonna leave this much of a tail and pull it through once you have chained 1. And this is how it will look from the right side. Just let me grab those tails. Just like so. I'm gonna show you how to hide the tail. So you leave these big ones here because we will use them for sewing. I just have this one from where I joined my second shoulder. But yeah, basically you want to grab a needle, pull it through. And what I like to do in this stitch is basically just go through the double crochets, then turn and go up, and then maybe back the same way. And it's important you go into multiple directions, because otherwise it can kind of come undone if you pull it out. And as you can see, this panel is very stretchy, so if you just pull it, either way your tail might come out undone. So you just want to make sure that you hide it very well. As you can see, I'm going into the chain, and then I'm going back the other way. So I'm going up. Again, I'm gonna go into the chain, and then down. So I'm going into double crochets, just like this. Just make sure that you can still kind of see the stitch as normal, it isn't scrunched up or anything, and cut the tail off. This is how you hide any tails that you have. I've already hidden the one that I started with, so yeah, but you will need to repeat this exact same thing for all the tails except for these ones. And now once you've got your front panel done, you then will need to repeat the same exact thing for your back one. And if you want your back one not to have this deep of a neck, you can basically do more rows for the full body and less for the shoulder. So for example, I have 34 rows for the front plus 3 for the shoulder. This makes it 37 rows. If I want to do only 2 rows for the shoulder, I will need to do 35 for the main panel, because I need the total number of rows to match for both panels. So do your back piece and I will meet you then. And I now have my front and the back panels here. So you want to grab both of them, put them right sides in so that you have wrong sides out. I have the tails left from the front panel, and I've hidden the ones from the back because I only need one for each shoulder. And then once you're ready, we will join the shoulders together. So grab your needle, and using that needle we will sew those both shoulders of front and back panel together. So I'm just gonna go into the first double crochets on both to start with, securing the very beginning, and just like that I'm gonna go in and sew, going from one side to the other, making sure that all of the stitches and chains are aligned. So you are joining the double crochet with double crochet and chain with chain. You could also do a slip stitches if you prefer that. Both of them work just fine. And yeah, you will do that till the end of your shoulder. And once you're done, make sure that the ending is secure, so you might as well want to go in a couple of times just to make sure it's sewn together. And then it's time to hide this tail. So once again I'm going into the double crochets like I did before, because it's quite hard to go into the chain. Plus it makes it a bit bulkier, so it's best to go into those double crochets. And once you think it is secure, you can then cut your tail, and you will now need to repeat the same thing for your second shoulder. But just to show you, once you sewn it together, this is how it will look. You can kind of see doubled chain here where your shoulder seam is, but yeah, you will need to repeat this one more time for this second shoulder, and I will meet you then for the sleeve part. Now once you set your front and back panels aside, it's time to do the sleeve. And what I've decided to do is to do 73 chains again, because by looking at this front panel folded in half, I feel like that's decent size sleeve for me. But yeah, again, you will need to decide what length you want and make sure that it, once folded in half, it fits your widest part of your arm. And then you want to grab your yarn. And again, like I said, I will be doing a chain of 73, which is exactly the same as my tops chain. And once you've got your desired length of chain, you will basically be working the same pattern as you did before. So if you already know how to go with that, you can skip this part and just crochet as many rows as you need for the length of your sleeve. But if you're still unsure, you can follow along, and I'll show this one more time. So to start off, you skip the first chain and go into the second with a double crochet. So yarn over, go into the second chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, then again yarn over, go into the second chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through 2. So that's 2 double crochets done. Then chain 5, skip 5, and go into the sixth with a double crochet, double crochet in the next chain, and this is what you will repeat till the end. So chain 5, skip 5, go into the sixth with a double crochet, and then double crochet in the next one as well. So keep doing this till the end of your row, and I will meet you at the end. At the end of your row 1, this is how it will look. You then want to chain 2, turn your work, and do row 2, which is basically going into the back post of double crochets. So yarn over, go into the back post of your first double crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then pull through 2 again. One more time into the next, yarn over, go from the back to the front and then back again, pull up a loop, and pull through 2 times. Then chain 5, skip 5, and do 2 back post double crochets. One more time, and this is what you will repeat. So chain 5, skip 5, do 2 back post double crochets, and repeat till the end. Just to show you one more time, chain 5, skip 5, and do 2 back post double crochets. So I'm just gonna finish mine and I will meet you at the end. At the end of your row 2, chain 2, turn your work, and we will do row 3, which is going into double crochets through front post only. So yarn over, go behind the first double crochet and complete your stitch, then repeat the same thing into the second, chain 5, as always skip 5 and do 2 front post double crochets. And this is what you will repeat till the end. So chain 5, skip 5, do 2 front post double crochets and repeat. So yeah, once again, chain 5, skip 5 and do 2 front post double crochets. So I'm just gonna finish my row and I will meet you at the end. At the end of your row 3, as always, chain 2, and now you will need to repeat rows 2 and 3 as many times as you need for your sleeve. So make sure it's long enough, but yeah, you will initially be repeating rows 2 and 3. So if you need, you can play it back, or if you already know what to do, just repeat those and I will meet you at the end. And I have my finished sleeve here. I did a total of 48 rows, not including the initial chain here. And I also finished with a long tail for sewing. If it helps, fold it in half. It looks like this. It can look really small, but then again, you need to remember that it kind of stretches a lot. So yeah, once you've done your first sleeve, you will need to go ahead and make second one exactly the same, and then I will meet you on how to assemble it together. Now you want to grab your main panel, so front and back, which is sewn together, as well as your sleeve. And you will need to find your middle of the sleeve, which is this point for me. I counted the chains and this is the middle, which will be joined into this shoulder seam, just to make sure that our sleeve is placed symmetrically. Then you will need to decide on where you want your sleeve endings to be, and again, this needs to be the same amount of rows. So once you secured one end, count the rows to secure the other one. So I'm just gonna grab my stitch marker and I'm gonna join it 15 rows below, meaning that this one will be joined 15 rows below as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I'm grabbing my tail that I have left from the sleeve. Just gonna put my hook in here to mark the stitch. And using your needle, or once again you can use slip stitches again if you prefer that. I'm just going with the needle and my sleeve, but yeah, you want to make sure it's folded right sides in so that you have right side down, and sew those two pieces together. It's not going to be lining up with the stitches and chains because, as you can see, they're facing different ways. We have this vertical and this horizontal, so don't worry about matching up the stitches. Just make sure that you have your stitch markers in place. And just like that, I'm gonna go in and sew it together. If you don't have the stitch markers, don't worry, you can use safety pins, bobby pins, or even the tails of yarn. Just tie it in place and you should be good to go. But yeah, I'm just gonna continue using the same sewing technique, basically going from one side to the other till I reach the other end of my sleeve. So let me finish that and I will meet you at the end. And once you finish joining your sleeve, you will need to fold it in half, still having it right sides in. Yarn should be at this corner where your armpit would be, so don't cut it off. You can then go straight in to join the sleeve together, and now you will have the double crochets here. So what you want to do is to go through the double crochet, the very first one on this side and the very first one on this side as well. So yeah, just go into that first double crochet on both sides till you reach the end of your sleeve. You can also use stitch markers or scraps of yarn to mark portions of your sleeve so that you don't have to look at it every single time to make sure that it's aligned. But yeah, just go in and sew it together. Once you come to an end of your sleeve, once again you will need to hide this tail. So just go into those double crochets in all possible directions just to make sure that it doesn't come undone. And once you think it's secure enough, you can cut that tail off. And now all you left to do before you can go ahead and repeat the same thing for the second sleeve is to join this side. So there's your sleeve and that's your side. I just inserted some yarn into my needle and I'm gonna join from this corner here. So I'm just gonna find that double crochet, same for the other panel, and leaving a bit of a tail, I'll start sewing it together exactly the same as I did for my sleeve. So yeah, just like so, I'm gonna go in along those double crochets on both panels and sew it together till I reach this armpit part here. And once you're done joining the side, you will need to hide this tail again, so there's nothing new. I'm doing the same exact thing, just going into double crochets, making sure I switch directions just to secure that tail in. Then cut your tail off, then hide this initial one here as well. And once that's done, you will need to repeat the same thing for your second sleeve, joining it to the main front and back panel, and then joining the sleeve together itself and the side, hide the tails in, and that's pretty much it. And that's it. This is how your top will look like from the right side. It does look quite small, but it is super stretchy, so it looks quite good wearing it on. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to hit subscribe. This really means a lot to me. And yeah,